What's up gamers, my name is ThatJack, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Honestly, I never thought I would get this far, and I would like to thank every single one of you, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to build a Geometry Dash level with 1,000 objects. That means that if you subscribe to me before I hit 1k, or if you're my 1,000th subscriber, you get your own object in this level. So one object represents one subscriber. This video is going to be a time lapse of me building this level while I explain what I was doing at the time, so enjoy. Day 1. I didn't really have any idea what I was going to make at this point, but I knew I wanted it to be a glow level, and I wanted to use the invisible objects from 1.6. So I placed down some of those objects and made some basic gameplay that mostly relied on the ground so that I could save objects. I tried adding color, but realized that I had no idea what I was doing, so I went to go get some inspiration. I came back with some inspiration and changed the background to be much darker and the outline of the blocks to be more desaturated. I then made a color for the details, which was just a dark blue with blending and 0.41 opacity, which I used throughout the level. I then added some glow details to the level with that same detail color, and added some pulses for the outline color, detail color, and background. I made these all spawn triggered, so I only needed one object every time I wanted a pulse, instead of 3 objects. I copy pasted the spawn trigger to every place where you jump, so that makes the jump feel more effective. I don't know, it's just cool I guess. Here I added some of those plant looking details, but ended up removing them later because they didn't really fit and took up way too many objects. I added these pulsing squares in different sizes as air deco, which I think adds a pretty nice touch to the level. I tried adding saws to them, but that took up too many objects and didn't really add anything to the level. I really had to go light on the objects in this. Then I added these line looking objects, which are pretty cool in my opinion. They really bring the level together. Here I made some more structured gameplay. I don't really have anything to say. It's just the same as the last parts. And then I went on to the next part. For the next part I wanted to make a ball with the mirror portal. Ew! I tried a couple different blocks for the block design before deciding on these blocks. I don't really know how to describe them. I made them the detail color and added an outline on top of them, as well as some glow to make them glowy. I added some ground spikes and scaled them up to save objects, and added some invisible spikes coming out of the platform so that you can't go under them. I added this 1 star in this block, and I only added 1. Why? I have no idea. Anyways, I started to change up the color in this part, since I didn't want the level to be the same colors throughout. I ended up choosing purple and green, and made the outline color pulsed yellow and light blue. I created some more gameplay using a lot of orbs since I thought it was neat. Then I added some more air deco, and since I wanted a little more variation than just the arrows, I added some exclamation marks, because DANGER! Then I ran out of ideas for this ball part and made a pretty simple cube to finish it off. Now when I was starting the third part, I tried making this block design with slopes and an outline at the top and glow, but when I started to make the actual ship gameplay, I realized that it used way too many objects for me to keep it. Maybe I'll use that block design at a different level or something, I don't really know. I created these pillar-like structures out of them and moved them up or down when you went through them. I then created a longer variant of them which didn't move and added spikes that you would have to fly through. I made some saws from this part using the cool 1.6 ones, which I also added to the second version of this part, which is the one that I ended up using. I just added them with less detail. When I realized how many objects this part used, I knew I had to restart. I started the third part, again, by making 2 squares. I then added some slopes in them, as well as some glow. Then I did a little copy pasting, actually no, a lot of copy pasting, and after adding some saws and arrows, the part was pretty much done. All I needed was some more copy paste. I decided to change the part from shift cube halfway through, which I ended up replacing with the UFO part later. I did one jump to the cube part and then decided to go make a background. For the first background, I wanted to make a scaling square background, so I scaled up 2 squares and put them on top of each other. I made one of them move up quickly, then down slowly, and then did the opposite to the other one. I made the movements activate with the same spawn trigger as the pulses so that I could save objects. Yeah! I then playtested the whole level a couple times and then stopped for the day. Day 2. I opened up Geometry Dash and got to work with a lot more ideas than I had the day before. I changed the cube part that I made yesterday into a UFO and created move triggers to reuse the entire ship parts decoration in the UFO part. This is peak laziness. I then started the last part, a slow cube part, before getting slightly distracted and working on the first background again. I added another layer that's smaller and darker to add more depth to the background. Then I reused some structures in the first part to save objects. I made a background for the second part. I used those hexagon objects and scaled them up, and created pillars out of them. I created 4 pillars and reused them throughout the part. I went and reused some air deco and then started working on the third background, which is just some scaled up slopes rotated at 45 degrees and moved with the player. I made 8 arrows which I reused for the entire ship and UFO parts. I then started work on the last part of the level by reusing one of the structures in the first part, as well as reusing the background, colors, and pulses from the first part, as I wouldn't have enough objects if I made them from scratch. I made some gameplay with invisible objects again, including a large slope and some fake jump pads like the ones in Back on Track. I created some interesting structures with slopes and then added some decoration. More slopes. However, I offset these slopes to make it a little more interesting. Next I made some saws. Originally they were actually saws, but I replaced them with spikes since I thought it would be more interesting. I reused a ton of objects in this part, as I was really close to hitting the 1,000 object limit that I'd set for myself. Then I added some more ground spikes to the second part, and made these beams that become visible to the music. I then remembered that I never actually finished the third background and went to go do that. At this point, I was at about 980 objects, so I needed to add some more. Luckily for me, the level was still quite empty, and by quite empty, I mean very empty. I finished off the level by adding a single arrow to the first part, which I just moved over and over again. And for the 1000th object, I added text at the end of the level, and I was finished.